What's up YouTube, this is your boy Game Freaking, aka Big D! And back with another tech video. Today I got the Xbox 360 Slim that I customized, as you can see there. And I am having an issue with it where it thinks it is overheating, but it's really not. So it's a false overheating. I heard people are calling it the red dot of death, but it pretty much blinks a red dot, and the fan spins so high thinking it's overheating, but it's really not. I will show you guys what it's doing, but let's get into it. Okay, so we got power, so let's go ahead and boot up the console. And you'll see, okay, so it boots up. I turned off the AC in the background so you can hear what this sounds like. It's pretty bad. So everything boots up. Okay, booting up, and you can hear it. Just listen. It slowly speeds up. So fast that it starts saying Xbox 360 shut down to protect console from insignificant ventilation. And as you can see, red dot. So yes, something went wrong when I took this system apart. So we're going to take it apart again and see what happened. Alrighty, so let's get back into it and tear it apart. So I'm going to take it apart, listen to a little bit of music, and I'll get back right with you. Okay, so now we're back in the system, and like I said, we're trying to figure out why it's speeding up. I was told that the resistors, which I installed these lights in here. After I installed these lights and everything, that's when it started like thinking it was overheating. So I'm thinking maybe I just like put something wrong together, or like the fact that maybe that's touching the motherboard can have a lot of problem with it. But people say that you got to check these resistors right on the motherboard to see if they're getting the right ohms, because it sends it down to the south bridge. Like, it sends it straight down to like the south bridge and all that. But like, I am not seeing any burnt marks, anything like that. So I think a lot of it's just got to do with how I got this installed. So maybe get that off the, like, get the light strip off the motherboard, maybe not block these vents, because again it did say ventilation. Maybe get this off the fan, get that completely off the fan. Like, it's got probably a lot to do with this, probably. So that's what I'm gonna focus on now. But if it wasn't this, most likely they say to check the resistors, and if it is the resistors, I have to resolder that. But for now, I'm gonna rearrange my light strips inside the console, get it away from the fan, and we'll go from there. Okay, so like my idea is to keep the light strips off the motherboard and maybe try to keep it up against the vent, because I don't think necessarily it's gonna affect it as much, but definitely got to keep it off the motherboard, like where all the processing, all that, we got to keep it off of that. Definitely away from the top of the fan for sure now, and away from the heatsink, because obviously the heatsink has a big part of keeping the system ventilated too. I mean, even the cover, like, that's supposed to go back down on it. I could keep that off, but we'll try every theory. Okay, so I got the LED lights as best as I can away from the motherboard. I got them wrapped around the fan and managed to get to the protection on. I'm definitely gonna have to get better LED light strips though, because these like to short out. I've had them for a while. So but for now, right now I just want to focus on, is the console still going to think it's overheating? So I have the system plugged in, and we are gonna see what the system does. Alright, so let's try it out. Fan kicks on, light is on. I think what might be the problem, I don't have it lined up in the middle with the copper. It's obviously sucking. I can feel it. It's blinking because there's no. The only reason why it's blinking because I have no HDMI plugged in the back, so it's just letting me know there's no HDMI cord plug in the back. But I'm listening to it. Here, let me turn that fan off. So right now, this is what I'm hearing. And then it kicked off. Now, I don't know if it just kicked off. I mean, but it wasn't flashing red, so we're on to something. So obviously it had something to do with these LED lights I hooked up inside. Might have been touching, or the way I had it wrapped around the fan, it just was not venting right. But now I have it, you know, where it's like kind of out of the way, and yeah. Okay. So, we're off to a good start. Actually, I think I know why it turned off, because I have this plugged in and it might have bumped the table. So that might explain why. So I'm going to get the console back together. I think I pretty much solved the issue there. It was just my LED lights either was messing up with the motherboard, or it was the way I had it wrapped around the fan and it just was not venting right. But now we're going to put it back together. I redid my thing and made sure it's like out of the way, not in the fan's way. Let's see what we get. Just to show you, this is how I have the light setup going on. Lights underneath the fan going across. I wanted it to come across the side, but as tight squeeze as the disk drive is, I just have it going across. But I got to squeeze in the back a little bit and then run back through here, and then that's where the cord goes through the hard drive area, which again, I ain't gonna use the hard drive because I usually just use external hard drives, but I think this might work. So just to show you, everything is on and running. I think I might have fixed it. It was just the way I had the LED light strips. Honestly, I think the problem was, like I said, obviously it wasn't overheating if I turned it on. There's no way a system's going to overheat right as soon as you turn it on. So I knew it was just a false overheating. The console thought it was overheating. But what I think was going on, the way I had the light strips, it might have been touching something, triggering that overheating, making the fan speed up. But now I kind of have it like out of the way. It's nice and wrapped around underneath the fan and not in the way of the heat sinks and all that. So I think I might have just fixed the red dot of death, which is just a a false overheating status of the console, thinking it's overheating, but it's really not. It's weird, but I think that was honestly why. Just the way I had the light strips. But now it sounds okay. It's speeding up a little bit, but it is hot out here, so it would do a lot better once I had the shell on and all that. So, but yes, it's blowing. It's still on, still up and running. It would have already blinked red by now. So yeah, I'm gonna put it all back together and see if it works, which I'm assuming it will. Alrighty, so putting it all back together. Big D. It's looking really good. Okay, so everything is put back together the way it was. So now let's see. As you can see, the light inside of it is all lighting up. You can see it. That's what I wanted. You can see the light inside of it. Looks really cool. But let's see if we get that red dot of death now that I rearranged everything. You can even see it in there a little bit. That's pretty cool. And the way I have it, it's just, you know what I mean, no soldering. It's just coming right out of the, like I said, the hard drive port. Got the feet on. And honestly, all you gotta do is, when you have the system on, is just have it plugged into the console itself in the back. Just like that. And I mean, and you know what I mean? It's not really a big deal if you don't really mind a little bit of a wire hanging out. But yeah, let's try it out now. Alrighty, so moment of truth. And sorry for the noise in the background. I have the AC on. It's really hot, so. But let's see what we get now. Everything booting up. Looking real good. The light is on. You can see the fan even spinning. That is a success.